Greetings, there's your white and nerdy for this week. I have an interesting story I gotta tell. Okay, this happened yesterday, and this is irony after irony. Alright, while, going around on YouTube, watching some videos, which, some friends of mine showed me a video of Ray Stevens, of a new song he's actually done a video for. Hilarious, very funny, dealing with the Obamacare issue. Well, on Ray Stevens' channel page, there was a guy whose user's name is Hate Republicans. He put a note on there, and it was expletive-laden, you must die, I should kill you, kind of just really hateful, calling them bigoted, and all Republicans are bigoted and hateful, and all that sort of thing. Now here's the irony, and I doubt this person was smart enough to catch it. With the most vile speech and hatefulness and death threat type of comment imaginable, he's accusing Republicans of being hateful bigots. Maybe there are some, but you're really calling the kettle black, don't you think, Mr. Hate Republicans? As the irony rolls on from yesterday, I'm driving down a local street, just a regular road, but there are two lanes on this road that become one. They merge, Well, this truck comes along on my right side. It's sitting on my blind spot, pretty much. Decides that in order to merge, instead of slipping in behind me, they want to go and speed up and see how many people they can pass. Well, they don't succeed on passing anybody before the lane ends. So the lane ends, they just come right on over. Now I have a decision to make. Do I let this truck hit me, or do I try to get out of the way? Well, I tried to get out of the way, which means I had to veer into the opposite traffic, traffic coming at me, and then hit the brakes and try to get him around behind this truck, preventing an accident. Now here's the irony part. 5 minutes later, while I'm getting onto a highway, I forgot that this highway was not somewhere you're allowed to go 70. It's only 55, and I get pulled over. So I avoid an accident, and then I get pulled over later. Whoever out there believes in karma, if you try to preach your karma to me, I should probably punch you, because by doing that good thing, shouldn't a good thing have happened back? So yeah, that really doesn't make sense. All right. It's March 20th, it's the first day of spring, and snow on the ground. Lots of snow on the ground. Supposed to be maybe a half an inch on the ground, but it's kind of piled up over here, isn't it? And this is the first day of spring. Welcome to global warming. It gets worse. I get here into the car. I got nothing but a sheet of snow and ice on all the windows here, which now I'm going to have to go clear. Shouldn't be doing this in spring. We're ready for spring. We've had it in the Midwest. We just got dumped. Also, new information has come around for anyone who remembers me talking about the Devil Wears Prada, some band with I thought an oddball name. Well, a friend of mine actually noticed that no, they're actually a Christian band. Well, that was interesting, I figured, so I did a bit of research, and apparently the name is supposed to mean that material things are kind of meaningless when you stand before God, because you won't have any of that material stuff, and so the Prada whatever wouldn't matter. But I still think that they kind of, either from the book or whatever, they got that namesake, because who in the world knows what Prada is? I sure didn't until that movie or whatever came out, and I still didn't see it, thank goodness. So I don't know, they must have been familiar with it in some, because I don't know if Prada is the name of a designer or if it's a certain style. I have no idea. But yeah, listen to some of their music. I didn't really care for it, but I'm sure they've got a fan base that really likes it. They've got like 3 albums out and everything, so hey, all the power to them. Go for it. Okay, another bit of interesting information that I just learned this morning. Andrew Lloyd Webber actually has a sequel to the Phantom of the Opera. It's called Love Never Dies. Okay, for one, he really screwed up the story with that first musical. The music was good, but if you read the actual book, you've got probably one of the greatest literary villains of all time. You're like, oh, the Phantom's supposed to be with her. No, see, in the book, the Phantom is a stalker, and he has done it before. There's this character just simply known as the Persian, who is an old friend of his, who tells Raoul, says, look, he's done this before. And who knows what happens to the girl after a while. But anyways, this sequel musical, it's 10 years later. The Phantom has actually owns some sort of a phantasm whatever park on Coney Island, and has invited Christine to come out and sing. And oh, that's right, the 10-year-old son that Christine and Raoul are supposed to have is actually the Phantoms, because the night before Christine Margot was winning, the Phantoms showed up and him and Christine got freaky, apparently. In the book, it's more described as he's an albino, has kind of, maybe high cheekbones, kind of sunken in eyes. His eyes are actually kind of red. So he does have a kind of frightening appearance, but he used to run around Persia and design booby traps and stuff around palaces and do all this type of stuff with full face out there, which is great. It's a good villain. It's the Joker before there was a Joker. And I'm talking the Heath Ledger current Joker, where he's just, got the whole city trembling. That's the way the Phantom of the Opera was. To me, I think Disney has now done what they pledged they would not do. They have interfered with Marvel. Not, of course, their day-to-day with the comic books, but because of the Disney buyout, the animated series of Spectacular Spider-Man is currently on hold because Disney decided they'll allow movie rights to continue somewhere else, but not television rights. Disney just needs to relent or something and let that series get made. It was a good series. Also, this brings into question what's going to happen with the Wolverine and the X-Men series, which actually was also pretty good. Now, Disney has announced that they are going to, work on an Avengers cartoon, which they plan to have out, I think, by next fall, perhaps. I don't know. And that's cool, but we want the Spectacular Spider-Man series to come back, and Disney needs to quit interfering. I guess it's been a couple weeks ago, my wife works at a nature sanctuary, right? And me and some other people went out to go see a bird. It's called a woodcock, or a timberdoodle. Mainly, I guess it's known as woodcock. I don't know how long the name change has been around, but my wife prefers to call it a timberdoodle. Well, we went out, and they have this goofy mating habit, and they do it right about sunset. They'll fly up into the air in huge circles, up, high, as high as they can go. And then once they get up to this grandiose height, they just stop flapping and just fall back to the ground. Literally, just stop everything and just fall. And how they're impressing their mate is to see how high they can get. I think I've met people like that.
Think of like a quail, but with a much longer beak.
Okay. Say hi, everybody.
Hi.
I'm walking backwards. That's not good.
As long as you know where you're going. I want to watch where you're going. Bobcat scat. So.
Look, bobcat poop.
There he goes. If you stop and listen, you'll hear him. It's a peep sound. He'll do it again.
Pardon me?
Don't scare me.
Is that?
That's a display. Yeah.
Alright, so... Excuse me. Sorry, I'm just really gassy all of a sudden.